born to climb, fiercest hunters of the deadly heights. The Himalayas, a wall of ice stretching 2,400 kilometers, dividing the Indian subcontinent and the Tibetan plateau. The land dubbed the third pole of the earth. In Sanskrit, Himalaya is the kingdom of snow. To millions of Hindus, these peaks are the sanctuary of Lord Shiva. To the Tibetans, Everest is Chomolungma, the holy mother of the cosmos. The Himalaya stands as a great water tower, the lifeblood for nearly 2 billion souls. According to the latest 2025 reports from the Global Alpine Surveillance Coalition, the ice is vanishing at a record pace. The boundary between endurance and extinction for both beast and man has never been more fragile. At an altitude above 4,000 meters, oxygen levels drop to only 60% compared to sea level. The cold of -40 degrees Celsius seems to reject all life. But in that unforgiving frozen land, the most resilient warriors rise. Snow Leopard, the most mysterious cat on the planet, the holder of the key to survival at an altitude of 5,000 meters. Talented architects living in the penthouse of the roof of the world, Everest. Many high-altitude tribes hold that the snow leopard is the vessel of high-ranking monks or divine guardians, the Dharmapala. Their solitude mirrors the existence of the hermits within their stone sanctuaries. It is whispered that when a snow leopard emerges from the mist, it is a portent of purification. The snow leopard possesses an unusually wide nasal cavity. This is a natural air heating system, warming the sub-zero air currents before they reach the lungs. The sudden high amount of hemoglobin in the blood allows them to transport oxygen efficiently in the suffocatingly thin atmosphere. The snow leopard silently glides across the porous snow thanks to wide pores. Thick, fleshy pads help disperse the body weight of 45 kilograms, helping them not to sink. The barrel was merely an elementary test of speed and endurance. The snow leopard's true opponent in the Himalayas belongs to a completely different class. Markhor. They are the largest wild goat species on the planet. An adult male is a mass of muscle weighing up to 110 kilograms. They possess magnificent spiral horns that can reach 1.6 meters in length, resembling a crown for the king of goats. The Markhor's regality is clearly displayed in its feeding habits. They reject the low-lying grasses. Having lost the Markhor, the snow leopard seeks out the Himalayan tar, the tenacious warriors of the cliffs. They are the embodiment of raw, muscular power. The mane, rough, surrounding the necks of adult males has earned the Himalayan tar the title Lion of the Snowy Mountains. In winter, this mane reaches maximum growth, extending down to the knees. It is both a sign of dominance within the herd and a biological shield. The thick fur helps protect the throat, the most vital weak point. from the deadly bites of snow leopards or wolves. The tahr lives at a slightly lower altitude than the bharal, about 2,500 to 5,000 meters. The terrain here is a chaotic mix of sheer cliffs and dense vegetation. To conquer this terrain, their hooves feature a special structure with a soft core, elastic like rubber to adhere to the most slippery rock surfaces. The friction generated is sufficient to hold a 90-kilogram body firm on a 60-degree inclined rock ledge. The snow leopard is the lord of the cliffs, but the Himalayan sky belongs to the rule of another tyrant, golden eagle, the holder of absolute power from the rarefied atmosphere. In the Altai reaches, the eagle hunters uphold a millennium of ritual, binding these sky tyrants to the pursuit of the fox and the wolf. It is a covenant of mutual reverence. Man requires the sentinel's vision, and the tyrant seeks sanctuary within man's reach against the iron winter. This is a flying war machine with a wingspan of up to 2.2 meters. They miss no detail thanks to eyes with a photoreceptor cell density 5 times that of human eyes. From an altitude of 3 kilometers, they can detect the slight movement of a hare or a marmot. When the target is locked, the golden eagle transforms into a living missile. However, the ambition of the golden eagle doesn't stop at small prey. They possess incredible lifting power. A 5-kilogram eagle can hoist prey weighing twice its own body weight into the air. But if the prey is too heavy, like a young goat, they resort to a brutal ruse. They seize the victim and drop it in a free fall down the cliff, letting gravity finish the job. The relationship between the golden eagle and the snow leopard is a tense symbiosis. Eagles frequently monitor the snow leopard's footsteps from above. After the snow leopard is sated and departs, the golden eagle will be the first to touch down. They are powerful, carcass-cleaning guards. Their presence intimidates all other scavengers. Red-billed choughs or bearded vultures must all give way before the king's wingspan. In the Himalayas, nothing is wasted, and the death of one is life for another. In Tibet, the bond between the golden eagle and the vulture transcends the simple hunger for the kill. These avian titans are revered as the sacred sentinels of the final rite, the sky burial. They carry the fallen vessel into the deep azure, closing the final circuit of existence, surrendering one's essence to sustain the living. The golden eagle rules the skies with wings of steel. The snow leopard governs the cliffs with proud solitude. But beneath the cold scree valleys, another force is rising, Dole. They are small creatures, weighing only 12 to 20 kilograms on average. They are completely outmatched in the brutal food chain of the high mountains. A solitary dhole is merely a weak shadow before the snow leopard's power. Even stray pups often become dessert for golden eagles diving from above. But the dhole possesses a biological weapon that helps them reverse every rule of size. Absolute unity, they operate like a superorganism. A dhole pack or clan can gather 10 to 30 members. When united, they become a red torrent, sweeping away every obstacle. They use high-frequency whistles to coordinate tactics in dense forests or complex rocky terrain. This sound pierces through the whistling winds of the Himalayas, keeping the hunting formation tightly knit. The dhole's tactic relies on terrifying endurance. They chase prey continuously for tens of kilometers, taking turns leading to maintain pressure, driving the prey to the point of total exhaustion. And when the hunt reaches its conclusion, the dhole's brutality is truly revealed. They do not kill prey with a gentle bite to the throat to cause suffocation like felines. Their dental structure, especially the lower molars, has evolved to slice flesh. They attack the prey from all sides. This method of disembowelment, though cruel, is extremely effective. It minimizes the kill time, avoiding the risk of having their hard work stolen by larger beasts like snow leopards or bears. The dhole's consumption speed is a biological record. A dhole pack can cleanly process a mountain goat carcass weighing 50 kilograms in just 15 minutes. The power of the pack is so immense that even the snow leopard must be wary. An aggressive dhole pack can easily drive away a snow leopard to steal prey. The solitary king of the cliffs is forced to yield to the power of numbers. The dhole is proof that in the Himalayas, discipline and unity are the true keys to dominance. Thus, the ascent of the dhole coalition is branded a plague upon the herds. Without them to enforce the old law upon the grazers, the fragile skin of the Himalaya would be stripped bare. The mountainside would yield, unmaking the civilizations that rest in the lowlands. In the wild, there are no villains, only the vital links that bind the world to its equilibrium. Even the leopard, the brother of the snow leopard, must be wary of the dhole pack's aggression. A leopard weighing 60 kilograms possesses superior strength compared to a 15-kilogram wolf. But when the ratio is 1:20, the scales of death immediately tip in favor of the pack. The leopard is often forced to abandon the prey it struggled to hunt, to retreat up a tree. Losing a meal is better than receiving an infected wound from the dhole's flesh-slicing teeth. The parallel existence of the leopard and snow leopard in the Himalayas is a prime example of the phenomenon of altitudinal partitioning. The invisible boundary lies at the tree line, an altitude of about 3,000 to 4,000 meters. Above is the grey rock kingdom of the snow leopard. Below is the deep forest territory of the leopard. Although sharing the same Panthera bloodline, evolution has sculpted them in two distinct directions. The snow leopard has smoke-colored fur with rosettes, large and faint, helping them blend into the rough granite structure. Conversely, the leopard dons a brilliant golden coat with small black spots, simulating the dappled sunlight filtering through the forest canopy. The snow leopard's body is designed for balance and long leaps, while the leopard is the crystallization of pure muscular strength. They possess immensely developed neck and shoulder muscles. This is the necessary condition for them to drag prey weighing twice their body weight up a 10-meter-high tree. That is the high-altitude pantry tactic. By hanging the carcass on a tree branch, they protect the prize from ground robbers like dolis or Asiatic black bears. At this ecological border, climbing is the only way to keep food in the mouths of predators. Leopard and snow leopard, which species impressed you more? Please leave your choice in the comment section. Goodbye to the roof of the world, Himalayas. We cross the Pacific Ocean to arrive at the spine of South America. The Andes, the longest continental mountain range on the planet. In the local creed, this range is more than a mere physical divide. It is the chacana, the conduit binding the spiritual strata of the ancient Inca. It stretches 7,000 kilometers, slicing through the continent across 7 countries, creating the greatest natural rampart of the Western Hemisphere. Here, the terrain changes dramatically from the arid Atacama Desert to the eternal glaciers in Patagonia. And the problem of survival requires the most creative and bold solutions. In this kingdom of wind and stone, the cougar is the god governing the earth of the ancient Incas. While modern science calls them the cliff dancers. That is an acknowledgement of an extraordinary biological design. To the Inca, existence is carved into 3 planes: Hanan Pacha, the celestial reach; Uku Pacha, the sunless deep; and K Pacha, the world of the now. Here, the cougar reigns as the sovereign force. Ancient Cusco was forged in the image of a cougar coiled to strike. To the bloodline of the high peaks, this predator is the emblem of relentless resolve and the power of the act. The cougar possesses hind legs significantly longer than the front legs. It turns their body into a perpetually compressed spring. This structure allows the cougar to perform a vertical jump up to 5.5 meters high. Their long jump length reaches up to 12 meters, enough to fly over the length of a large bus. Despite possessing the size of a heavy beast, taxonomically, the cougar still belongs to the small cat group. The hardened hyoid bone structure makes the cougar unable to roar like lions or tigers. Instead, they purr when happy, just like a tabby cat, or emit ear-piercing screams exactly like a woman screaming in the night. The spine-chilling sound that once made Western settlers believe the mountains were haunted. The cougar's cunning also lies in every footstep. They move with the direct registering technique. The hind foot is placed exactly in the position the front foot just left. This technique helps reduce the noise of breaking dry branches by half. Tracking them also becomes impossible because one cannot guess the size or number. A phantom that knows how to fly, knows how to turn invisible, and possesses the cry of a cat. That perfect preparation serves only a single purpose: the deadly pounce from the blind spot. The cougar's favorite prey in the Andes is the guanaco, a creature that looks gentle but is designed to survive in the harshest conditions. Through millions of years of being hunted, they have developed a natural armor to resist the cougar's kiss of death. The skin of the guanaco's neck is unusually thick, reaching up to 2 centimeters in adult males. This rubber-tough skin acts like a biological Kevlar shield. It is born to withstand sharp fangs, protecting the aorta and trachea deep inside. A hunt in the Andes is not a silent assassination, it is a chase and brutal collision. The collision between the 60-kilogram predator and the 120-kilogram prey creates a violent shock. Both tumble down the slope covered in sharp scree. The guanaco's rear kicks carry horrific destructive force, strong enough to crack ribs or shatter the cougar's skull. It spits a pungent mixture of acidic stomach fluids into the enemy's face to disorient it. But the cougar is the embodiment of tenacious persistence. The more fiercely the prey resists, the tighter it squeezes, channeling all its strength into the jaw muscles to compress through the thick neck skin. This is a contest of grit, where the one who gives up first will pay with their life. The guanaco also possesses another biological secret, helping them maintain strength in this wrestle. To survive at an altitude of 4,000 meters, a teaspoon of guanaco blood contains up to 13 million red blood cells, 4 times that of humans. This turns their blood into a super fuel, transporting oxygen with maximum efficiency to muscles screaming from exhaustion. But today, oxygen is not enough. The cougar's steadfastness has overcome the guanaco's armor, a glorious death for a resilient warrior of the high mountains. If guanacos are the armored tanks of the lower slopes, then at an altitude of 5,000 meters, another masterpiece of creation reigns: vicuña. Here, atmospheric pressure is so low that a flame can barely sustain combustion. But the vicuña still prances like ballet dancers. The secret lies in a massive heart, weighing 50% more than the hearts of mammals of similar weight. This is a supercharged engine, pumping blood thick with red blood cells to nourish the body with maximum efficiency. It turns the vicuña into the animal with the best aerobic capacity on the planet at extreme altitudes. They don a brilliant golden-orange coat. Vicuña fibers are only 12 micrometers thin and finer than cashmere wool. It is a super insulation layer, keeping the slender 45-kilogram body warm amidst sub-zero cold and stormy winds. In the era of the Great Dynasty, the vicuña's fleece was a mantle reserved solely for the bloodline of the sun. To this day, the Quechua regiment upholds the chaku, an ancient ritual of the harvest. They converge upon the herds, claiming the warmth of the wool before returning the creatures to the unyielding wild. This is the old covenant. Man accepts the gift of heat, yet pays his debt by honoring the animal's right to endure. But that precious coat does not protect them from the cougar. For the mountain lion, the vicuña is a delicate dessert and far less risky than the guanaco. No thick neck skin, nor deadly rear kicks. The vicuña relies entirely on speed for survival. They can reach a velocity of 50 kilometers per hour at an altitude where humans would faint if running too fast. However, the cougar holds the prey's routine map in the palm of its hand. Vicuñas use fixed communal dung piles. All herd members defecate at one spot to mark scent boundaries. The dominant male is obsessed with checking these dung piles to assert sovereignty. The cougar only needs to lie in ambush at those communal piles. When the male vicuña bows his head to smell the familiar scent, it is also when he smells the scent of the reaper. A lightning-fast pounce from behind. The giant heart that once helped the vicuña conquer the heights now beats its final rhythms in the jaws of the ruler. Hunting amidst treacherous cliffs has never been easy. But the cougar has no other choice. The lush tropical forests at the foot of the mountains do not belong to them, because that is where the jaguar reigns. They stand as the sentinels at the threshold of Ukupacha, the sunless deep, within the sacred lore of the southern bloodlines. This is the third largest cat species in the world and the #1 giant of the Western Hemisphere. An adult male jaguar is a fur-covered tank weighing up to 100 kilograms. Their muscles are much denser and more compact than the slender body of the cougar. The territorial division between these two cat species is the result of a brutal biological war. The jaguar possesses the strongest bite force in the entire cat family relative to body size. Their jaws generate terrifying pressure up to 1,500 pounds per square inch, double the bite force of the African lion and triple that of the cougar. The jaguar's canines can pierce straight through the temporal bone and crush the prey's skull. They can even bite through turtle shells or the armored skin of caimans like biting a cracker. Against that destructive power, the cougar has no chance of winning in a head-on confrontation. Pressure from the jaguar has pushed the cougar higher. They are forced to adapt to precipitous cliffs, arid deserts, and biting cold. The humid, rich lowlands belong to the stronger ones. Their presence is an absolute boundary. One rules the deep green hell. The other dominates the grey stone paradise. Two kings, two thrones, and a border drawn by the power of deadly jaws. Jaguar and cougar, which predator do you prefer? High above in the sky, the Andean condor has observed a battle between the jaguar and cougar. This is the heaviest flying bird on the planet. An adult male can reach a weight of 15 kilograms. A wingspan of 3.3 meters turns them into the greatest biological gliders. The condor is a master of the art of flying without flapping. They only flap their wings about 1% of the total flight time, mainly during takeoff or landing. 99% of the remaining time, condors glide on thermal columns. These are hot air currents rising from cliffs baked by the sun. They ride these invisible elevators, soaring hundreds of kilometers every day to search for food. They can fly continuously for 5 hours, covering a distance of 170 kilometers without flapping their wings even once. From an altitude of 5,500 meters, the condor's eyes scan every corner of the valley. They look for stillness, prey that has lain still under the cougar's claws. When the cougar is sated and abandons the guanaco carcass on the mountainside, that is when the condor lands. The condor's talons are blunt and straight, like chicken feet. They cannot grasp or kill anything. They are purely walking scavengers. But in return, they possess a hooked beak, powerful like bolt cutters. This beak is designed to tear open the thick skin of camels or cattle that smaller animals must give up on. The condor's characteristic bald head allows them to thrust deep into the bacteria-filled abdominal cavity of a corpse without worrying about dirtying feathers. The harsh ultraviolet rays on the Andean peaks will sterilize that bare skin, keeping them healthy throughout a lifespan of up to 70 years. In Andean culture, the condor is the messenger of the upper world, Hanan Pacha, the one who transforms rotting death into eternal life in the sky. An uncrowned king, ruling with patience and wings that cover the entire mountain range. The bloodlines of the Andes hold a truth. The condor is eternal. When the burden of seasons grows too heavy, the sentinel folds its wings and plunges from the peak into the sunless abyss to be forged anew. From the condor's frigid skies, our gaze falls upon the southernmost forests of Patagonia. Here, the cougar faces a prey that dares to defy every temperature limit. South Andean deer, also known as the huemul. This deer species is a national symbol of Chile, but in reality, they are creatures teetering on the brink of extinction with fewer than 1,500 individuals remaining in the wild. Their bodies are stocky, with short, sturdy legs designed for climbing over rugged, rocky terrain. But when pursued by a cougar, the huemul chooses to plunge into the water. They aim straight for freezing glacial lakes, where the water temperature hovers just between 2 to 4 degrees Celsius. Each hair strand features a hollow structure filled with air, acting as a biological life jacket that provides superior buoyancy. They create a perfect insulation layer, preventing the bone-chilling cold from reaching the skin. The cougar, no matter how powerful, carries within it the feline's primal fear of water, and more importantly, they lack the thermal armor of the huemul. The hunter stands helplessly on the shore, watching the prey glide effortlessly amidst the drifting ice. For the huemul, the deadly water is a fortress of life. The huemul finds life in icy waters. But on the arid plateaus above the snowline, water is a death sentence. Here, survival depends on staying absolutely dry. That is the law of the chinchilla. These tiny creatures are actually the thermal tanks of the Andes. To combat the bone-chilling cold that can drop to -20 degrees Celsius at night, the chinchilla has developed the densest fur in the land animal world. 60 to 80 ultra-fine hairs grow from a single follicle. Their fur density reaches up to 20,000 hairs per square centimeter. This structure creates an impenetrable thermal fortress. Warm air is locked tightly inside the coat, forming an insulation layer with 100% efficiency. Parasites like fleas cannot even live on a chinchilla, as they would suffocate before ever reaching the host's skin. But this super armor comes with a fatal Achilles heel. It is too thick to shed water. If a chinchilla gets wet, its fur acts like a giant water-absorbing sponge. The increased weight renders them immobile, and more dangerously, the water trapped against the skin saps body heat, leading to rapid hypothermia. Therefore, the chinchilla says no to water. Instead, they bathe in volcanic ash. Tiny dust particles penetrate deep into the hair roots, absorbing excess oil and moisture, cleansing the body and keeping the fur fluffy. This fur possesses one final defense mechanism: fur slip. When grabbed by a Culpeo fox or cougar, the chinchilla will automatically shed a large patch of fur right at the point of contact. The predator is left with a mouthful of worthless fluff, while the prey has vanished into the rock crevices. From the volcanic peaks of South America, we trace the latitudes upwards to the Wild West. Here, two rocky giants stand guard over the North American continent: the Rockies and the Sierra Nevada. The Rockies, a colossal spine stretching 4,800 kilometers from British Columbia down to New Mexico. A labyrinth of sedimentary cliffs and jagged shark-tooth peaks. Meanwhile, the Sierra Nevada towers like a wall of light, with the largest monolithic granite blocks on Earth. Here, winter lasts up to 8 months. Blizzards can dump snow layers up to 10 meters thick, enough to bury a 3-story building. Amidst this fortress of ice and stone, the boundary between predator and prey is blurred by a common enemy: the brutal harshness of nature. The mountain goat is one of the few species daring to challenge that harshness. Their habitat consists of 90-degree vertical granite cliffs. There, the smallest mistake leads to a bone-shattering death in the abyss thousands of meters below. But the mountain goat considers this the safest playground. The secret lies in legs designed with the most advanced biotechnology. Their hooves are a perfect combination of climbing shoes and claws. The outer shell is hard as rock, sharp as crampons to dig into cracks. The inner pad is soft, rough, and elastic like Formula One racing rubber. They create maximum friction, adhering to slippery rock surfaces even on steep slopes. The shoulder muscles of the mountain goat are a giant hydraulic engine block. They can perform spectacular pull-ups. An adult goat weighing 140 kilograms can hoist its entire body weight up using only a hoof hold as small as a coin. Mountain goats are accustomed to treacherous cliffs from the moment they are born. Just hours after birth, they must join the deadly parade on the cliff face. The mother goat always forces the kid to walk above her when climbing slopes and urges them to go higher. If the kid slips, a frequent occurrence on loose scree, it will fall onto the mother's back. Safety at high altitudes comes with a heavy price: salt deficiency. The poor diet on the mountain peaks forces them to undertake risky journeys down to the valleys to lick minerals. That is when they are most vulnerable to wolves and bears. But as soon as they sense danger, They immediately turn around and charge straight up the sheer cliff. They disappear into the clouds covering the precipitous cliffs, where only they dare to tread. The cliffs of the Rockies and Sierra are also home to the bighorn sheep. They are armored tanks designed for extreme physical collision. The defining weapon of this species is the pair of gigantic spiraling curved horns. On an adult male, these horns can weigh up to 14 kilograms. Heavier than the entire rest of the skeletal system in the body combined. When autumn dyes the valleys gold, the hormone testosterone turns stoic males into ticking time bombs. The mating season, the rut, begins. No mercy, no feints. Two males rush at each other at velocities up to 40 kilometers per hour. The moment of impact creates a terrifying sound echoing up to 1 kilometer in the thin, high-altitude air. The force, measured at the point of contact, reaches up to 3,400 newtons. But the bighorn sheep simply shakes its head and steps back to prepare for the next round. The secret of this immortality lies deep inside the skull. Biological engineers call it the honeycomb structure. Their skull consists of 2 layers of hard bone sandwiching a complex layer of porous, spongy bone. This spongy bone layer acts like the crumple zone of a modern car. It compresses upon impact, dissipating the shock force before the shock wave reaches the brain. Simultaneously, the horns made of highly elastic keratin also act as natural shock absorbers. This protection mechanism is so perfect that the bighorn sheep's brain barely moves within the skull upon collision. They are completely immune to concussions. A battle between 2 males can last up to 24 hours, with hundreds of consecutive headbutts. The winner takes all: territory, food, and the right to propagate the lineage with the entire harem. The loser trudges away with a bruised ego, but an intact skull. Leaving the bloody arenas on the peaks of the Rockies, we descend the passes to the vast basins stretching at the foot of the mountains. Here, muscular strength and headbutts become meaningless. The rules of survival are decided by speed, and the pronghorn is the master of that game. The pronghorn is the sole survivor of an ancient animal family, Antilocapridae, endemic to North America. They are dubbed the speed phantoms of the prairie. This is the second fastest land animal on the planet, ranking only behind the cheetah. They can activate a maximum velocity of up to 98 kilometers per hour. But unlike the short bursts of the cheetah, the pronghorn is a durable long-distance supercar. They can maintain a velocity of 50 kilometers per hour continuously for tens of kilometers without getting winded. Their body is a masterpiece of aerodynamics and physiology. The pronghorn's trachea is unusually wide to gulp down air. The lungs and heart are gigantic relative to body proportions. The VO2 max index Their maximum oxygen absorption capacity is 5 times higher than that of the most elite human athletes. Their blood contains concentrated hemoglobin levels, turning the body into a super-energy oxidation reactor. But scientists have posed a big question for centuries. Why must the pronghorn run so fast when the fastest predator on the cliffs, like the wolf or cougar, only reaches 60 kilometers per hour? That is a waste of evolutionary energy. The answer lies in a phantom dead since the Ice Age: American cheetah. 10,000 years ago, the North American prairies were the hunting grounds of an extinct giant cheetah species. The pronghorn today is racing against the memory of a non-existent enemy, a biological arms race where the opponent left the track long ago. They are living relics, trapped in the speed of the past. However, this perfect speed machine possesses an unbelievably silly weakness. Pronghorns do not know how to jump. Evolution has programmed them to race on flat surfaces, not to overcome vertical obstacles. When facing the barbed wire fences of cattle ranches, the pronghorn chooses to crawl under the fence. This bizarre behavior causes them to slow down, scratch their backs, or even get stuck. Slender legs designed to tear through the wind are now clumsy before inanimate metal wires. The pronghorn's strides inadvertently brush past the darkest canyons of the Rockies. That is the territory of the wolverine. They are also called skunk bear, due to the pungent scent gland smell. But the most deserving name for them is the berserker. This is the largest land-dwelling member of the weasel family. With a modest weight of only 15 to 18 kilograms, the wolverine resembles a bear cub trapped in the body of a lightweight MMA fighter. But don't let that size fool you. Inside that small body is an energy metabolism reactor running on overload. Eternal hunger turns the wolverine into the most reckless creature of the northern hemisphere. They are ready to rush in to steal prey from a crowded grey wolf pack or a grizzly bear weighing 300 kilograms. The wolverine's weapon is a special set of molars rotated 90 degrees inward. This biological design turns their teeth into an industrial crusher. They can chew through the hardest thigh bones of a moose or tear apart frozen meat at -20 degrees Celsius. But the true superpower of the wolverine lies in the ability to conquer terrain. In winter, when snow covers meters deep, all life halts or moves to lower grounds. The wolverine does the opposite. They possess unusually wide paws relative to their body, acting as natural snowshoes. This allows them to run on porous snow without sinking and climb high. Wolverines frequently climb up vertical avalanche chutes. They search for the carcasses of unfortunate mountain goats or wild sheep buried by avalanches. The wolverine's sense of smell is so acute, they can smell rotting meat through a 6-meter thick layer of compressed snow. They dig frantically to pull out frozen food caches that nature has stored. But sometimes, the reason is unbelievably simple. They climb over vertical cliffs just to take a shortcut. GPS tracking devices have recorded wolverine individuals climbing over 3,000-meter high peaks amidst blizzards. They want to get to the valley on the other side faster instead of having to take a detour. In the Rockies, the wolverine is the embodiment of brutal resilience, a vivid proof that sometimes size doesn't matter as much as attitude. And in the battle for survival, the craziest one is usually the last survivor. When the ice melts, another death zone in the valley is revealed. Fast-flowing glacial rivers with temperatures of 0 degrees Celsius. This is the stage of the American Dipper. The only songbird in North America daring to choose water as its home. The dipper defies the laws of hydrodynamics. They plunge straight into the surging water with a velocity of 2 meters per second. Short wings act like hydrofoils, creating downward thrust against the lift of the water. But the craziest thing lies in the legs. The dipper walks on the river bottom. Sharp claws dig firmly into slippery, moss-covered rocks. They lower their heads, tilting their bodies so the current presses them down to the bottom instead of washing them away. They possess a transparent third eyelid, nictitating membrane, acting like swimming goggles, helping them see everything clearly in the murky, bubbling water. All that extraordinary effort is just a hunt for tiny insect larvae hiding under rock crevices. A tiny creature, but carrying the heart of a nuclear submarine. The frigid glacial lake beds are also the hiding place of the American moose, the largest deer species to ever walk the earth since the Ice Age. An adult male is a tower of flesh and bone, standing up to 2 meters tall and weighing over 700 kilograms. Their gigantic flat horns, palmate antlers, are up to 1.8 meters wide, weighing 30 kilograms. They are high-tech hearing aids. The concave shape of the antlers acts like a giant parabolic satellite dish. It collects and amplifies sound, directing it straight into the moose's ears. Studies show that the antlers help increase their hearing by up to 19%. Helping them hear the footsteps of a grey wolf or the snapping branch of a rival male from kilometers away. The moose possesses a nickname that few expect: giant diver. They dive deep to the lake bottom up to 6 meters, using strong jaws to grab kilograms of moss and water lily roots. The terrestrial diet is severely deficient in sodium. To survive and develop the massive skeleton, the moose seeks aquatic plants at the bottom of the lake. They can contain sodium levels 500 times higher than plants on the shore. The moose can hold its breath for up to 1 minute underwater. Special nose structure with valves automatically closing tight prevents water from flooding the lungs. The image of a 700-kilogram monster rising from the water, head covered in moss, is the most surreal sight of the northern wilderness. Moose frequently swim across the sea to move between islands in British Columbia and Alaska, and here they encounter the black and white nightmare of the ocean: orca. This is the only case on Earth where a deer becomes food for a dolphin. When moose swim across deep straits, they are completely helpless. Their swimming speed of 10 kilometers per hour is a joke to the orca. No sharp horns to gore, no hard ground to run. The king of the northern forest becomes a tasty morsel for the king of the ocean. Leaving behind the endless primeval forests of North America, we cross the Atlantic to return to the cradle of Western civilization. In Europe, two limestone giants are straining to support the sky, the Alps and the Pyrenees. The Alps wind like a great icy crescent, 1,200 kilometers long. It traverses the territories of 8 countries, from France to Slovenia, with Mont Blanc standing 4,807 meters tall, like an eternal throne. It is dubbed the Water Tower of Europe, the source of vital rivers like the Rhine or the Danube. To the southwest, the Pyrenees rise as a natural granite wall dividing France and Spain. These are not pristine wildernesses devoid of humans. This is a cramped arena where wildlife is forced to fight for every meter of survival, right next to bustling ski resorts. In the heart of old Europe, where nature is besieged by concrete and steel, survival requires insane adaptation. And the Alpine Ibex are the craziest of all. Once hunted down to fewer than 100 individuals in Gran Paradiso in the 19th century, today they have returned with over 50,000 strong. But population explosion comes with a nutritional crisis. High-altitude grass and herbs provide enough energy, but are severely lacking in salt. Essential minerals needed to maintain nervous system function and develop skeletons, as well as giant horns 1 meter long. This mineral thirst has driven the Alpine Ibex to the most bizarre behavior in the animal world. They seek out human colossi like the Cingino Dam in Italy, a giant concrete wall 50 meters high, standing nearly 90 degrees vertical. To humans, this is a death wall requiring specialized climbing gear. To the Alpine Ibex, this is a buffet table. They nonchalantly walk on the vertical face, defying gravity, defying the dizzying heights. The secret of this magic lies in their feet. The Ibex's hooves are split, able to move independently to clamp onto tiny protruding ridges. The soft soles transform into vacuum suction cups, creating absolute friction on slippery concrete surfaces. They cling to rock holes just a few centimeters wide. They even stand on rusty bolt heads protruding from the dam body. The dam's concrete over time releases salts called saltpeter and calcium that seep to the surface. The patchy white streaks on the dam body are white gold for this herbivore. The ibex uses its rough tongue to lick these precious salt crystals clean. The sight of an entire herd of ibex hanging suspended on the dam wall makes anyone watching hold their breath. A slight slip, a sudden gust of wind, and the price paid is life itself. But mineral hunger has completely overridden fear. This is brutal proof of the law of survival. When the natural environment no longer provides enough nutrients, animals are forced to turn human artificial structures into part of the wild ecosystem. In the Alps, the boundary between nature and civilization has been erased by the footsteps of the ibex. The Alpine Ibex conquers gravity by holding on, but the chamois, their smaller cousin, chooses to glide across the death zone. The geographic separation of the old continent split this bloodline into two distinct branches. Alpine chamois rule the snow peaks of the Alps. And Pyrenean chamois govern the southwest slopes. Though different in geography, they share a gene pool perfectly adapted to the cold. The chamois' secret weapon lies in its feet. Evolution has equipped them with biological snowshoes. Between the toes of the chamois is a flexible interdigital membrane. When stepping onto porous snow, the toes spread out to the maximum. The skin membrane stretches taut, increasing the surface contact area. This mechanism helps disperse the body weight of 50 kilograms. While predators like wolves or lynx sink deep into the thick snow, the chamois glides gently on the surface as if walking on flat ground. They can accelerate up to 50 kilometers per hour on this tough terrain. When chased or needing to change altitude rapidly, they turn their bodies into a living snowboard. The body's center of gravity lowers close to the ground. Hind leg joints lock tight to form a sliding surface. They launch themselves down snow slopes inclined at 60 degrees. A controlled slide helps them drop hundreds of meters in altitude in just a few seconds. To operate this speed machine at oxygen-deprived heights, the chamois possesses an oversized heart. Their heart weight relative to body size is much larger than other mammals. It pumps red cell-rich blood throughout the body, maintaining endurance during prolonged chases. Vigilance is also a survival instinct. Chamois live in herds led by an experienced old female. When the herd is grazing, there is always a sentry, standing apart at the highest point. It constantly scans the sky for the shadows of eagles and scans the valley for the shadows of wolves. Just a piercing whistle is heard, and the whole herd transforms into blurs rushing across the white snow. Chamois glide on snow to escape death. But in these mountains, there are those who eagerly await death to happen. The bearded vulture is one of them. Unlike common vultures that fight for rotting flesh, they live on a diet that is 90% bone. They find carcasses already stripped clean of meat by wolves or eagles and pick up giant thigh bones weighing up to 4 kilograms. Then they fly up to an altitude of 150 meters and drop them in a free fall onto sharp rocks below. Gravity does the work of teeth. The impact shatters the hard calcium shell. The rich bone marrow source, containing calories many times higher than lean meat, is exposed. For bone fragments that are too small, the bearded vulture will swallow them whole. Their stomach is a pool of concentrated acid with a pH approximating 1.0, strong enough to dissolve an entire cow hoof within 24 hours. But what makes the bearded vulture a legend of the Alps lies in its appearance of a fire phoenix. Jet black wings contrast with a chest burning with orange red. That red is makeup, taken from mud puddles rich in iron oxide in damp limestone niches. There, They perform the mud bathing ritual. They roll, rubbing meticulously to dye each white feather into the rusty color of blood and fire. This is a rare and unique cosmetic use behavior in the animal world. Scientists believe color is a declaration of power. The more red there is, the higher the social status. A bird with plumage blazing red like fire proves it knows the terrain like the back of its hand. It knows exactly where the secret iron mineral sources are. And more importantly, it has enough time and excess energy for beauty instead of struggling to find food. In the Alps, bearded vultures are aristocrats donning royal cloaks woven from mud and pride. In the sky, the bearded vulture uses the red of blood to assert sovereignty. But under the frozen ground, survival does not need ostentation. It needs silent sacrifice. The Alpine marmot understands this very well. When the first blizzards hit, covering the Alps in white, and the outside temperature drops to -20 degrees Celsius, they immediately disappear. They retreat into dungeons located 3 meters deep underground. There, they begin a 6-month biological war named hibernation. This is a controlled state of clinical death. The marmot body activates the most extreme energy-saving mode in the animal world. Their heart rate, from 130 beats per minute in summer, drops to only 5 beats per minute. Breathing becomes faint, only 1 to 2 times per minute. Body temperature drops from 37 degrees Celsius to 3 degrees Celsius. But this torpor biological mechanism is not enough to fight the cold seeping into the marrow. A solitary marmot would freeze to death in just a few weeks. Their only weapon is herd warmth. They execute the tactic of social thermoregulation. A marmot family, which can be up to 20 members, crawls into the same burrow. They curl up, piling on top of each other into a giant furry ball. And this is where social order decides life and death. The positioning is not random. The weak young with the least fat reserves are placed in the warm and safe center. Surrounding them are females and adult males. And in the outermost layer, right next to the freezing entrance, are the fattest dominant males. They accept turning their bodies into living insulation shields. They burn their thick fat reserves to radiate heat inward, keeping the future generation warm. Every few weeks, the whole herd will simultaneously wake up for a moment. They defecate in a separate corner of the burrow and restart the collective heating system. The price paid for this sacrifice is very high. After winter, adults can lose up to 50% of their body weight. Many dominant males are exhausted and never wake up when spring comes. But thanks to that sacrifice, the survival rate of the young increases significantly. While the marmot family is sinking deep into dreams underground on the snow surface, a phantom is awakening. Eurasian lynx, the silent ruler of the old forests of Europe. This is the largest of the 4 lynx species in the world. An adult male can weigh up to 30 kilograms, as large as a leopard. Their ultimate weapon lies on top of their head. Those are 2 characteristic long black tufts on the tips of their ears. These are advanced biological antennas. This tuft acts as a receiver. They help determine exact wind direction and amplify the smallest sound frequencies into the ear canal. And when combined with ears that can rotate 180 degrees independently, they form an ultrasonic hearing system. The Eurasian lynx can hear a heartbeat or the rustling footsteps of a field mouse from a distance of up to 60 meters. They can even locate prey moving underground beneath meters of snow. Their preferred targets are roe deer or chamois. However, prey 3 to 4 times their body size brings a troublesome problem. The predator cannot eat the entire prey at once, and in a forest full of thieves like bearded vultures or foxes, leaving food exposed is a stupid waste. The lynx performs food caching behavior. They drag the heavy carcass into wind-sheltered bushes, using hind legs to scrape snow, leaves, and dry branches to cover the entire prey. The cold pile of snow suddenly becomes a natural refrigerator, both preserving the meat from decomposition and blocking the scent from spreading. The lynx will return to this cold storage over the next 5 to 7 days. They leisurely eat until only white bones remain. A solitary life, carefully calculated and completely invisible. That is why they are called the forest guardian, who never sleeps. The silence of winter is broken by the most reckless lovers of the Alps when spring arrives. Western capercaillie. They are the largest member of the grouse family, with males weighing up to 4 kilograms. At collective performance grounds called leks, males gather to participate in the harshest beauty and music contest in nature. They fan their tails into a giant fan shape, stretch their necks to the sky, and begin the song of destiny. The capercaillie's song is a strange sequence of sounds, ending with a hissing sequence, lasting about 3 seconds. It is during these 3 short seconds of climax that they fall into a state of extreme ecstasy. Blood pressure rushes to the bird's head enormously, and simultaneously, tensed jaw muscles compress the outer ear canal tightly. They become temporarily deaf. In that moment, the world around the western capercaillie disappears. They do not hear the footsteps of a stalking fox or the snapping of branches by humans. In fact, in the past, hunters called this bird the deaf chicken. They exploited exactly those 3 blind seconds to get close. If the bird stops singing, they immediately regain their acute hearing and fly away. But the instinct to propagate the lineage is stronger than the fear of death. They accept betting their lives hundreds of times every morning just to send signals of love to females hiding in the bushes. A romantic tragedy of the old forest. When love speaks, death can arrive right beside you without you even knowing. Goodbye to the love songs. We drift south, crossing the Mediterranean to reach the towering heart of the dark continent, the Ethiopian Highlands, known to the world as the roof of Africa. This is the largest continuous mountain mass on the continent, a massive basalt fortress lifted by violent volcanic activity 30 million years ago. Its surface is torn apart by the Great Rift Valley, creating vertical cliffs thousands of meters deep and peaks touching the cloud layer. Here, the concept of a wild, sun-scorched Africa is completely overturned. There are no golden savannas, no migrating herds of lions or giraffes, only cold winds, fog, and absolute isolation. An island in the sky with a unique Afro-Alpine ecosystem found nowhere else. On the windy peaks, where the air is so thin it makes travelers' lungs scream, a strange primate empire reigns. Gelada. They are the last remaining members of the ancient genus Theropithecus. In the colorful world of primates, the culinary rule is usually fruits, nuts, young leaves, or insects. But the Gelada tore up that textbook and threw it into the abyss. They are the only primates in evolutionary history to choose the path of grazing. 90% of their diet consists of tough grass growing close to the ground. To exploit this poor energy source most efficiently, the Gelada developed an exclusive mode of locomotion. Instead of moving on 4 legs or 2 legs, they shuffle. Creation modified their pelvic structure and equipped their buttocks with 2 thick, hard, and calloused fleshy pads. These 2 pads allow the Gelada to sit flat on the ground all day and slide from one grass patch to another without wasting energy standing up and sitting down. Their hands evolved into miniature combine harvesters. The symmetrical thumb and index finger possess extreme dexterity, helping them pluck each blade of grass, separate seeds, and feed them into their mouths at breakneck speed. An adult Gelada must chew continuously thousands of times a day to intake enough calories. Because they spend their entire lives sitting on the cold ground, displaying sexual signals on the buttocks like other monkeys becomes meaningless. Instead, the Gelada possesses an hourglass-shaped patch of bare skin right on the chest. In the breeding season, this skin patch turns a bright red like fresh blood due to changes in estrogen and testosterone levels, a wordless but weighty declaration of power. When twilight falls on the highlands, hundreds of Geladas will leave the safe grasslands. They climb down vertical cliffs thousands of meters deep and hang themselves to sleep on rock ledges only as wide as a hand. This is how they evade leopards and Ethiopian wolves. Turning treacherous terrain into a safe shelter is how they conquer the journey of survival in Ethiopia. Sharing the pasture with the Gelada is the common jackal. According to the usual logic of the natural world, the appearance of a carnivore amidst a primate troop would trigger a red alert. But in Ethiopia, these 2 animals have a tacit agreement. The jackals come here to hunt things that the Gelada accidentally wakes up. When a troop of hundreds of monkeys moves and turns over the thick vegetation carpet, they create small tremors on the ground. Small rodents and insects, especially the Arvicanthus grass rat, panic. They run out of their burrows to avoid being trampled by monkey feet, and that is exactly when the jackal strikes without needing to waste effort sniffing or digging. Science calls this tactic commensalism. The jackals utilize the monkey troop as giant beaters. The success rate of rat attacks increases from 25% when hunting alone to 67% when accompanying the monkey troop. But this peace agreement is very fragile. It relies on an immutable principle. The jackal is not allowed to look at the baby monkeys. Male geladas with 5-centimeter long fangs always observe every move of the companion. The jackal, with sharp intelligence, understands this limit well. They restrain the instinct to hunt large prey in exchange for an abundant and easy food source from the rats. They accept being a humble moocher rather than a chased-away enemy. On the Ethiopian highlands, sometimes the smartest way to hunt is not using strength, but knowing how to choose the right companion. Unlike the common jackal, the Ethiopian wolf needs no allies to survive. This is the rarest wild dog on the planet, with a global population estimated at under 500 adult individuals remaining. They are standing on the brink of extinction, more fragile than tigers or black rhinos. The Ethiopian wolf is an anomaly of the Canidae family. They live in packs to protect territory and maintain the lineage. But when the sun rises, they separate. Each wolf is a solitary hunter on the windy grasslands. The reason for this solitude lies in the size of the prey. Their main food is the big-headed mole rat. A prey weighing a few hundred grams is not enough to share with the whole pack. Therefore, the Ethiopian wolf must work alone. Their hunting technique is a meditation session amidst nature. They walk slowly and then freeze. They can stand still like stone statues for hours in front of a burrow entrance. Every sense is focused on the flexible, rotating ears. They are listening for the scratching sound of soil or the heartbeat of the rat under the thick earth layer. This is a battle of wits between the hunter's patience and the hunted's vigilance. When the audio signal confirms the prey's location, the wolf executes a jump following a perfect parabolic trajectory. The body arches in the air, shifting all weight to the two front legs. The impact of the two paws on the ground breaks the burrow roof, simultaneously pinning the prey before it can retreat deep into the darkness. The Ethiopian wolf is the most specialized carnivore in Africa. Evolution has turned them into perfect rat hunting machines, but that very specialization is killing them. As habitats shrink and diseases like rabies from domestic animals run rampant, the red messengers of the highlands are gradually disappearing into the mist of history. The Ethiopian wolf chooses solitude to preserve wild dignity, but when night swallows the high peaks, another predator chooses the path of walking straight into the light of civilization. Spotted hyena, the most misunderstood creature of the dark continent. In pop culture, they are cowardly and sinister scavengers. But science paints a completely different portrait. This is the carnivore with the most complex social structure in Africa, second only to monkeys. They possess the most terrifying jaws in the mammalian world on land. Their bite force reaches 1,100 pounds per square inch, stronger than both lions and grizzly bears. They can crush the femur of a giraffe like snapping a dry twig. Anywhere else in Africa, their giggling laughter is the signal of the reaper. But in Hara Jugol, a 1,000-year-old city recognized as a UNESCO heritage site, every biological rule of fear is reversed. Here exists the world's strangest peace treaty between humans and beasts. Every night, when the city gates close, wild hyena clans from suburban caves quietly enter the small alleys. They come to meet old friends, the hyena men. This is a centuries-old tradition where humans hand-feed wild creatures. This relationship is a vital symbiosis. The people of Hara believe that hyenas have the ability to see and eat evil spirits, jinn. Scientifically, they are the city's biological sanitation system. The spotted hyena's stomach is a super incinerator. Their stomach acid is so strong it can destroy bones and dangerous pathogens like anthrax or cholera. They clean up organic waste and rotting animal carcasses that humans throw on the street, preventing disease outbreaks in a cramped ancient city. Inside this city, the boundary between humans and hyenas is erased. Hyenas teach their young that humans are a safe food source. Humans teach their descendants that hyenas are the guards of the night, a friendship based on mutual respect for each other's fear. When the first dawn touches the jagged basalt peaks, we encounter a creature so modest in appearance it is easily overlooked: rock hyrax. At first glance, they look no different from a guinea pig or an oversized chubby ground squirrel. A harmless gray-brown ball of fur weighing about 4 kilograms. But this is the most spectacular trick in evolutionary history, genetically and anatomically speaking. The rock hyrax is the closest living cousin of the largest land animal on the planet, the African elephant. Don't let the size fool you. Look at the hidden anatomical details. Their 2 upper incisors never stop growing, effectively being miniature elephant tusks. Their toenails are not sharp claws, but flat hooves identical to elephant nails. And the foot structure has elastic pads helping them adhere to cliffs, functioning exactly like the feet of the swamp giant. But carrying the royal blood of the elephant comes with a heavy price. The hyrax's metabolic system is terrible. They possess the least efficient thermoregulation mechanism in the mammalian world. Their body temperature fluctuates wildly with the ambient temperature, more like a reptile than a warm-blooded mammal. Cold nights at an altitude of 4,000 meters in Ethiopia drain their energy, sending their bodies into a stupor whenever the sun sets. Therefore, hyraxes are the most fervent sun worshippers. Every morning is a mandatory survival ritual. They cannot run, cannot forage until recharged. The entire hyrax colony, from old to young, will climb to the highest rock outcrops facing east. They pile on top of each other, forming a living fur rug to share the remaining warmth and catch every photon of sunlight. To support this, creation granted them a special pair of eyes. The hyrax pupil has an umbraculum shield, allowing them to look straight into the glaring sun without going blind. And when the body has heated up to the necessary level, the tiny elephant tusks begin the work of grazing. From the wings of the Andean condor to the thunderous headbutt of the bighorn sheep, from the hibernation of the marmot to the reckless kiss of the hara hyena, we have witnessed how life blooms right on the edge of the abyss. High mountain peaks are nature's harshest laboratories, where every animal must become a more perfect version of itself to survive. There is no room for error, only adapt or die. Among the cliff dancers and gladiators we have just explored, whose survival superpower amazed you the most? Please leave your opinion in the comments section below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next expedition into the planet's most mysterious lands.